and on your side. Morning Edition.
Details on the new safety measures in effect at a hospital in the East. What health leaders are doing to protect moms and children. Plus, millions of people have lost their jobs because of the COVID outbreak. One man in the East shares his challenges with the state's unemployment website. And the race to reopen the economy on the national and state level. Governor Cooper tells us what needs to happen moving forward. 9 on Your Side Morning Edition at 6 starts right now. Good morning and thanks for joining us. I'm Amber Joseph. We're going to head to the First Alert Weather Center with meteorologist David Sawyer. Now in that live eye, you can see peaks of that sunrise coming.
It's a beautiful start to the day, Amber. You're right, but it is a chilly start to our morning. You can see with this live I-9 view, as Amber pointed out, I do agree. A beautiful start to the morning. As you can see, the early morning sunlight on the way with sunrise in just a few minutes. Forecast for this morning, high pressure overhead will bring a tranquil start to the day. Temperatures, though, are chilly out the door. It's currently 36 degrees in Greenville, 37 in Kinston, and 36 in Kenansville, 40 in New Bern, and 53 in Morehead City and Beaufort. That 38 degrees accompanies that beautiful dawn's twilight this morning in Jacksonville. 52 at 10 a.m., 66 at lunchtime, and afternoon highs in the lower 70s will be accompanied by a little bit stronger breeze from the south. Coming up, more on your weekend forecast that does feature a chance of showers and possible thunderstorms. We'll talk about a First Alert Weather Day on Saturday coming up in just a few minutes.
Tracking COVID-19 cases across the East, more than 700 people have tested positive for the illness. Yesterday, we learned of 3 cases at Three Rivers Health and Rehab Center in Bertie County. 2 cases are patients. The 3rd patient is a staff member. All are in self-isolation, and county leaders say more cases could be confirmed at this facility in the coming days. And New Bern's Carolina East Medical Center now requires everyone to wear a mask when they enter the hospital. It's a measure to stop the spread of coronavirus. The hospital's Women and Children's Pavilion is also taking additional steps to keep patients safe. 9 on Your Side's Aaron Dean is live in the newsroom. Aaron, what are health professionals doing to protect moms and children?
Well, they're constantly cleaning and disinfecting surfaces. Plus, they have sets of nurses, one that works with healthy moms and another set that's ready to work with moms that may be infected with COVID-19. Department Manager Shauna Knight says visitations and bonding is important for new babies. But Carolina East now has strict restrictions to stop the spread of the virus. The hospital is limiting the number of visitors inside the pavilion, encouraging social distancing and good hygiene, keeping sick and healthy patients away from each other.
When it comes to being in the middle of a pandemic, that changes a little bit. This is a fluid process. There are so many changes every day as we learn and grow through this experience, and as new studies come out to teach us what we need to do to prepare and react, we update ourselves on the new standards of practice every day.
Knight also says that they're seeing some challenges. One is with discharging new mothers, visitors picking up the moms and the babies, so extra staff members are needed to stay with the women and their newborns in a separate area. And Knight has some advice for some expecting mothers who are dealing with this pandemic. She says stay hydrated, keep a balanced diet, and get plenty of rest and safe exercise. In the newsroom, Aaron Dean, 9 on Your Side.
So far, more than 617,000 people have filed for unemployment in North Carolina. That's just in the last 4 weeks. Many are running into challenges with the state unemployment website and constantly busy phone lines. Truck driver James Spite says he began experiencing COVID-19 symptoms last month and had to self-isolate at home. He says not being able to work has been tough on his finances. He doesn't have internet access, so he's been calling the state's unemployment line over and over again. Spite tells 9 on Your Side it took about 50 calls just to get a representative on the phone.
Shock, and at the same time a little surprised, and I was actually happy I finally got through. I know there's more people that are in the same situation I'm in that can't get out there and can't reach them as well.
We learned Spite did manage to file for unemployment today with help from one of Governor Cooper's aides. A short time later, he says he received a call from his boss saying he could return to work Friday. Many people who have lost their jobs are hoping for a little help from the federal stimulus payments, but millions are still waiting for the cash. Payments are hitting some people's bank accounts already, but many banks are having technical difficulties processing the payments. One man checked his bank account expecting the $1,200, instead saw $8 million. Kinks in the payments are still getting worked out. The U.S. Treasury says that physical checks have not been mailed out yet, and it may take months to mail all of them. Across the state, at least 5,400 people have tested positive for COVID-19 and 131 people have died. We're learning more about the president's push to reopen parts of the economy and how that'll play out in our state. Yesterday, the president was on a call with Governor Roy Cooper and other governors. 9 on your side's Capitol reporter Michael Hyland reports.
When the closed signs start to go away in North Carolina, Governor Roy Cooper says it won't be a sudden return to normalcy, even as some pressure him to reopen. You'll likely still see people in masks. Concerts and sporting events could have no crowds.
I think the president certainly wants to open up the economy as quickly as possible. We know that in order to safely do that we've got to provide enough testing out there so that we can trace and isolate and make sure that the public is protected.
I talked to Republican House Speaker Tim Moore Thursday. He says he expects changes to be step by step.
As opposed to just saying, okay, quarantine's over, everybody back to work, and restaurants go back to the way they were. I think it would be a gradual process there, where, for example, maybe you go to only 50% occupancy.
President Donald Trump had a call Thursday with Governor Cooper and governors across the country. He's issuing guidance on reopening, a change after claiming before he had total authority. Rick Sue is a law professor at UNC and an expert on the role of states versus the federal government.
The decider in these circumstances is the states. The federal government has limited authority to essentially command states to do something, and in this case, withdraw their specific stay-at-home orders.
While Governor Cooper talked more about what he says it'll take to remove some of the restrictions, the timeline is unclear. His stay-at-home order runs until late April. As that gets closer, he says he'll make decisions on new executive orders. Michael Hyland, 9 on your side.
Happening today, Governor Cooper and members of the coronavirus task force will hold a briefing on COVID-19 updates. That starts at 2 p.m. and you can watch that right here on WNCT, on air and online.
It's 6:07. Coming up next on Morning Edition, we'll take a look at your weekend forecast that will feature a chance of some showers, and embedded could be a few strong thunderstorms. More on a first alert weather day right after the break. Well, on this Friday morning, a chilly start to the day, but by this afternoon, we're looking for a very pleasant finish to the work week. High pressure sitting overhead this morning is giving us the nice and easy start to the day. Clear skies will show lots of sunshine to begin the forecast on this Friday. The high pressure, though, overhead has allowed temperatures to bottom out through the overnight hours. It's a chilly start to the day, as I'll show you in just a moment. Tracking this next cold front, this will bring a chance of showers and possible thunderstorms on Saturday. Let's time it out now in your first alert precision forecast. As we'll note, the start of the day with tranquil conditions, a nice sunny start with these mostly clear skies. A chilly beginning, though, may require the jacket if you're out early this morning. It's 32 right now and 33 as we range from 30 degrees in Roanoke Rapids over toward Ahoskie, 42 degrees in Edenton, 36 in Greenville, 37 in Kinston, and mid to upper 30s as we look along Highway 24 from Kenansville over toward Jacksonville, and 53 now in Beaufort, showing how the temperatures are starting to climb even into this early start of the day. Little bit of patchy frost possible early this morning for inland areas, but everyone sees a nice warm up. 52 degrees at 10 a.m. for most areas, mid 60s at lunchtime, and afternoon highs approaching the lower 70s will be quite pleasant as we move into Friday afternoon. Breezes will start to pick up, though, from the south as high pressure slides offshore. So enjoy this mostly sunny day as we finish out the work week. Here comes that cold front, though, that I showed you a moment ago. As the cold front gets closer to us, it will kick up a line of showers, and by the time it arrives here, 10 a.m. to 2 p.m., some of these showers and storms could be on the stronger side. We'll keep you posted as a first alert weather day has been designated for Saturday with this cold front's approach. Things will clear out later in the afternoon on Saturday. Means a sunny sky will start the day on Sunday. But before we finish out Sunday afternoon, more showers are in the making, and they will come our way later in the day on Sunday. A first alert weather day in effect on Saturday with that chance of showers and storms. Best chance of those storms will be late morning to early afternoon, clearing out later Saturday afternoon. 70 for the high on Saturday, 46 Saturday night, and morning sunshine on Sunday gives way to afternoon and evening showers and rain likely into Monday of next week. Amber?
Thanks, David. As the nation ramps up testing for the novel coronavirus, there are concerns about shortages of the materials needed to perform tests. Now, labs around the nation are stepping up using 3D printers to keep supplies stocked. Elise Preston has more.
With testing for COVID-19 increasing rapidly nationwide, the materials needed for the tests, like these nasal swabs, are in high demand.
We looked at how it works, what it does, and then we figured out a way to produce it on our technology.
Dr. Todd Goldstein is the Director of Design and Innovation at Northwell Health in New York. His team is using 3D printers to produce the swabs, printing 2,000 to 3,000 each day.
Hours sitting on a computer, designing it like you would any sort of mechanical part, 3D printing it, testing to make sure that it works appropriately, and then trying to produce as many of these as our clinicians would need.
3D printers are being used around the country, from large companies to in-home operations, to ramp up critical supplies to fight the pandemic. In Alabama, Boeing employees are producing these reusable 3D printed face shields, with 2,300 delivered earlier this week.
We got a special product here to help take care of the men and women out there in the medical industry, keeping them safe. If we can do our part to keep them safe, then that's good enough for us.
Dr. Goldstein's lab is also working on face shields and adapters needed for medical devices.
Every day I'm getting another request for a plastic piece that everyone wants at the same time. We're working with CPAP machines, BiPAP machines, ventilators.
Creating items that may be in short supply to help doctors on the front lines and their patients fighting for their lives. Elise Preston, CBS News, New York.
Another benefit of 3D printing, researchers can print the materials and deliver the supplies to their clinics right away, avoiding supply chain and shipping issues. The time is 6:15. Coming up after the break on Morning Edition, a special FedEx delivery made one couple's wedding picture perfect. Plus, SAT testing dates have been delayed, how colleges are responding to the pandemic. It's all coming up, but first we leave you with a look at tonight's primetime lineup only on WNCT.